Let's talk about that polling, because you've just done some polling this week. Talk us through it.
Well, I just thought after 4 months, he's had time, Anthony Albanese's had time to settle into that big chair. What should he be doing? I mean, is he in touch with what people want? So he asked people, what's the most important thing the federal government should be concentrating on right now? And we got Compass Polling, brilliant polling company. They asked 1,000 people that question. 3 people came back and said, the voice to Parliament. That's the most important thing.
3?
We know who they are. 2 of them were Labour voters and 1 was Green. So the referendum on the Republic, more than double the support. 7 out of 1,000 thought the referendum on the thing we've talked about like nothing else for the last fortnight. Most people, that doesn't cross their radar. Climate change, now we're getting somewhere. 10% said climate change. But really, all that's dwarfed into insignificance when you get to the number one issue, which I bet you guess what that is. It's obvious, right?
Inflation. Exactly.
75% of people named cost of living issues as the number one concern, whether it's fuel, petrol, whether it's energy prices, or just the cost of living generally. Housing prices, of course, that's what is number one for 75% of people, but you don't really have the government talking too much about it, do you?
Well, Scott Morrison left a little ticking time bomb behind when he reduced the fuel excise and then made sure the incoming government was going to wear the opprobrium for it going back up, which happened this morning.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I haven't been to the pumps recently, but you'd think that 20 cents, or was it?
25 cents a litre.
Go on again they'll put it on much more quickly than they took it off, of course, when the levy came down. And this is going to hit people, right? I mean, you're paying $2 for a litre of diesel and you're a tradie living out, somewhere in the western suburbs or somewhere, and you have to this is real money off people's businesses and real pressure on the public, on the family purse for people like that. It probably doesn't touch people in Mossman or Toorak, where they.
Well, let's talk about interest rates.
Yeah, well, this is the other thing, interest rates.
So you're going to have a chat tomorrow with Adam Crichton of The Australian. What's he saying about interest rates?
Well, Adam's one of the smartest guys in the world when it comes to the economy, for my mind, and the reason for that is he can actually explain it. There's a lot of people who seem to know a lot, but so I always go to him on these things, and I tested my theory with him that monetary policy is just a form of legalised torture. Sticking up interest rates to fight inflation is only doing one thing, and that's the aim is to cause pain to stop people spending more money. And the government could, of course, stop spending money itself, but that would cause it a little bit of discomfort. So all the pain goes on interest rates, and specifically on people with mortgages. I mean, if you're in a fortunate enough position to pay off your house, you won't even feel these mortgage rate rises. But for, in certain parts of Australia where, 90% of homeowners have a mortgage, places like Oran Park, which I picked out there in the western suburbs, this is going to have a devastating effect. So some people get to really suffer when you yank up interest rates, others not so much. And it's not the people, it's not the wealthiest who get hit.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line of it.